Okay, picture this. It's 2010, you come home from school and sit down at the Xbox. You boot up Halo, put your headset on, and get ready to play with 15 friends in a party playing custom games. Halo was somewhere that I always played without any worry about what was going on in life. It was an escape from the worries of school and problems I was dealing with at the time. Loading up the game and immediately getting a party and game invite as everyone got online after school. I learned about the game, combing through every level, every bit of lore. I spent hours trying to get outside maps so I could see how they were built and what things were accessible and hidden. Halo ODST had come out just a year prior. Everyone got their first experiences playing Firefight, the first introduction of a horde mode similar to Gears of War. We finished doing the VidMasters within a week of their release, but that is a story for another video. The day Halo Reach came out, I rushed home from school and got online. School had just started, but I knew I had to play Halo with my friends and family. My brother worked at the local GameStop at the time and picked it up after the midnight launch. Loading into the game, I heard the iconic music. I knew I was in store for something I had never seen before. I had played the beta and knew the game was going to be amazing. This was the first time Halo introduced loadouts and different abilities that you could use. Active camo made you invisible while jamming the enemy's radar. Armor lock, slamming your fist into the ground and becoming invulnerable for a short period of time. Evade, a tactical dodge in any direction. This was most commonly used playing as elites in an infection. The jetpack, this one is somewhat self-explanatory, but goddamn was it not cool as shit flying through the air with a rocket launcher blowing up enemies. And last but definitely not least was Sprint. Sprint, and as simple as it sounds, Sprint changed how Halo played completely. Gone were the days of walking to each of the power weapon spawns and more slow, methodical, and tactical fights. Run for too long and you run out of energy and are forced to walk, slowing you down and opening you up to enemy attacks. One of the biggest and most controversial changes that was brought with Halo Reach was the introduction of the Designated Marksman Rifle, also known as the DMR. Replacing the 3-round burst of the battle rifle from the previous games, opting for a single-shot semi-auto rifle. This was Bungie's last Halo game, and they were pulling out all the stops. The DMR was about pinpoint accuracy, and boy did it cause a divide amongst players. Some loved the DMR, stating it was more skillful than the battle rifle with the science behind it. Halo was all about hit scan, instantly connecting bullets to targets depending on where your reticle was positioned. It took 5 shots minimum to kill, with the 4 to the body and 1 to the head. The battle rifle previously was more about brushing over enemies while shooting, knocking out shields and attempting to brush the reticle over while shooting to ensure the 3 bullets all connected. Things like Fat Kid, Infection, Jaws, Duck Hunt. There was always something new to play. Someone always had just heard from a friend about this cool map where you're Master Chief but you move at 200% flying speed through the air like a rock skipping on water. These were the late nights that you stayed up when you had school the next day, but you didn't care. You had a lobby of people all waiting to load into the next match. Halo was more than a game. It was a first community for me. Talking about how fast we could complete the campaign, how high of a score we could get in Slayer. The challengers were always changing, and so were the people. Playing in the Halo community felt like no matter where you looked, you could find someone who was looking to play with friends in custom lobbies. It was something else. Halo was an amazing space to go out when you wanted to relax and hang out with people. Halo was from a time period where it was the Wild West of online gaming. The players you met online were always talking trash about your KD or what guns you were using. Growing up playing games like Halo, you would meet a variety from kids to parents who could only play after their little ones went to bed. Now, I don't think you get these experiences online anymore. Most of the time, people are in a chat room with whoever they're playing with, as opposed to loading into the game lobby and talking online. We already have our group of friends that we play with. Why do we need to talk with random people online? But I think that's what made Halo so special. Everyone wanted to play online and meet each other and keep finding new things to play. The different modes you could play online were crazy. Slayer was always a massive battle with people fighting for power weapons or vehicles. King of the Hill led to the biggest clusterfucks I have seen in a game at the time. Capture a Flag was around when you wanted to play more strategically. Infection was always an adrenaline-pumping match where you had to watch your back or else you would be attacked. With the different game modes came different players. You had people who played objective-based modes and would constantly be looking for spots to get a new angle on enemies. With Slayer, you had people who knew the exact science behind every weapon's damage and how to use them. Rumble Pit bred the hardcore lone wolves, who were able to take on whole teams by themselves. Custom Games was a lot more laid back and more relaxed group who loved to hang out and play, not caring as much about the outcome of the matches, more about just who you were playing with. Forge creators were a godsend to a lot of us. Forge creators loved the ability to create grand structures in the game and share them online for the world to enjoy with new modes. There was always someone to hang out with and play. You could always hop into a different mode and learn about different parts of the game. Forge was one of the biggest impacts on gaming at the time. The closest you could get was playing on PC and custom maps on Counter-Strike or dedicated servers. Halo gave you the ability to make any style of game you could ever want. The ability to connect with people around the world at any point in time. You could find a few friends, load into Forge, play a map you created that night in half an hour. Capture a Flag, King of the Hill, Slayer, and my personal favorite, Infection. Halo was a place to challenge your friends to dumb one-on-one matches, because Chris says he is better on sword base. Throwdowns over who knew the coolest spots you could get to with tricks, and where you could aim your grenades perfectly at hitting into the enemy spawns. Infection gave a apocalyptic feel in Halo Reach, with desaturated colors making you feel like you were in a gritty, worn-out area, jumping onto the tops of roofs so you could try and outlast the zombies for a little bit longer, but it never worked. Halo Master Chief Collection on PC has been an insane throwback to that time. It has become an amazing run through memory lane. You're still able to sit and play with 15 other people on a Friday night. Putting on some music from 2010 like Gorillaz, or putting them on now. The game stayed the same with the re-release. The only change is we're seeing it from another viewpoint this time around. Back when Reach first came out, we were all 10 years younger. We initially were the kids that would stay up late playing the game at night, but 10 years later, we're the adults that have to play only after we get home from work. Master Chief Collection is my classic WoW. I spent thousands of hours on the game, and I'm going to enjoy the run through memory lane while I can. And I hope to see you there with me. Hey guys, I spent the past couple of weeks working on this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can follow me on social media down below, and subscribe to see what I'm making next.